All right. Good day, everyone. So this is the explanation of the part in the video lecture, which does not sound clearly. Okay. So again, this is the normal pattern of the ECG. Take note, guys, that a normal ECG contains a wave like this, no, an interval, okay, a segment like this, and a complex. Let's say, for example, the QRS complex. Once we said wave, no, a wave is a positive or a negative deflection from the baseline that indicates a specific electrical event. As you can see in the illustration, waves can be the P wave, okay, the P wave, the Q wave, no, the S wave, the R wave, the S wave, and the T wave. As you can also see in this illustration, there is also what we call interval, such as the PR interval and the QT interval. What does the interval denotes? The interval is the time between the two specific events in the ECG. For example, the PR and the QT interval. So that's the time, no, the wave of the P and the wave of the Q. Okay. And the interval is commonly measured on the ECG. Okay. We also have what we call the RR interval. Okay. The RR interval is the start, okay, of this one, okay, up to this one. That is what we call the RR interval. We also have what we call segment. As you can see, we have here the PR segment. So this is a line before the another wave. Okay. And when we said segment, again, that's the length between the two specific points on the ECG. Again, when we said segment, that is the length between two specific points on the ECG. And this interval, or this segment rather, are supposed to be at the baseline, no? At the baseline altitude, meaning to say on a straight line. It means that, okay, this segment should be straight. Or in other words, it should not be positive like the P wave, or it should not be negative like the Q wave. Okay, so remember that the segments on the ECG includes the PR segment and the ST segment. Okay, the PR segment and the ST segment, and of course the TP segment. What do we mean, sir, by TP segment? All right, take note, guys, that right after the T wave, the next wave again is the P wave. Okay, di ba magkakadugsong lang yan. So that's the TP wave. Okay, and there is also what we call complex, like the QRS complex. That's the only complex. No? The main complex on the ECG is the QRS complex. Okay, and what do we mean by that? QRS complex is the combination of multiple waves together, no? Group together, such as nga yung in ating QRS wave. Okay, so we also have what we call the point. When we said point, that is the only point on the ECG, okay, which is termed as the J point. Okay, now take note, guys, that the main part of an ECG contains a P wave, a QRS complex, and the T wave. Again, take note that the main parts of an ECG contains our P wave, okay, the QRS complex, and of course, our P wave. Okay? Now, what do we mean by P wave? P wave indicates atrial depolarization. Again, P wave indicates the atrial depolarization. The QRS complex, on the other hand, no, again, that's a complex group of waves, no, such as the Q wave, the R wave, and the S wave, or the S wave. And the QRS represents the ventricular depolarization. Again, ventricular depolarization, while the T wave comes after the QRS complex and indicates ventricular repolarization. Okay? The T wave indicates the ventricular repolarization. Okay? Again, the P, the P wave, the QRS, and the T wave rather are the main parts of the ECG. P wave indicates the atrial depolarization. QRS indicates the uh, ventricular depolarization. Yung P, atrial. Yung QRS, ventricular depolarization. And of course, the T wave no, that comes after the QRS complex indicates the ventricular repolarization. Okay? Take note, guys, of the parts of the ECG, the waves in the ECG, the purpose of the main waves in the ECG. I hope that it's clear. Thank you very much.